Quick presentation here. Want to try to catch you up on participles. Seemed like the end of class. The heat and the workload were catching up to you, so just reading your faces seemed like maybe a bit of stress and confusion. I want to look at just chapter 28 here, pages 111, 112. I'm not going to work through all of these, but again, just the odds you're responsible for. I'm going to work through some of the evens here, just in this chapter as well for practice here on 111 and 112. Join me here, epsilon. I'll read and then walk through the basic pattern that I've established in class. Find the indicative verb, find the participle, and begin to synthesize these parts of speech as you are able. It will just begin to click over time. So, epsilon. Epon to Andri apestelanti humas pros me. Again, pause this, repeat after me, but you can work through it. Apon, what's the tense form? Yes, aorist. And here, first singular or third plural, this is one of those second aorists, apon. We have a clue down here if it's going to be first singular or third plural. From Lego, then we find the participle apestelanti. From apostello, but just a single lambda, so that makes it, yes, second aorist. Both of these are second aorists. From apostello, anti, dative here. And we begin to think about the dative participle and a dative noun here and a dative definite article. They're an indirect object here, receiving speech often in indirect object. I spoke to the singular man who sent you to me. And if we put the aorist and the aorist together, I spoke to the man after he sent you to me. Again, we move the participle back one step. I spoke to the man after he sent you to me. Zeta. Elthuse eistain oikion lege aute. Elthuse eistain oikion lege aute. Lege, third singular, he, she, it is saying, present here. Eilth, that's right, aorist of erchomai, use, feminine, singular dative with aute here. He, she, it is speaking to her, and her is the one coming or going into, erchomai, come or go into the house. After she went into the house, he is saying to her. After she went into the house, he is saying to her. He, she, it is saying to her after she went into the house. So we think about the main verb and then look at the participle, and the participle here agreeing with this verb. Here's where the dative, the case, comes in the actual function in the sentence. He is saying to her after she went into the house. The after from the aorist here. Eta. Angelon tu theou es elthanta pros auton kai epanta auto. Angelon tu theou es elthanta pros auton kai epanta auto. So we have no verb here in the indicative. We just have a couple of participles. Eis elephanta, again from erchomai, elf. Eis erchomai, aponta, from Lego here, same as epsilon. And we want to think about these participles after an angel of God, after it came to him and spoke to him. The aorist here, this participle, just because it's the word order is previous to this participle, they're both aorist, but we may want to put this one in a subsequent time or preceding time by saying after. After an angel of God came to him and spoke to him. And after it spoke to him. Angelon, the subject of eis elephanta and aponta. Let's look at just a couple of translations here. Number one, kai euthus tois sabason os eis elephon eis tein synagogein et didasken. One more time. Kai euthus tois sabason eis elephon eis tein synagogein et didasken. So we look at our structure here, our verb et didasken. What does that letter mean? Yes, an augment, imperfect. Third singular, he, she, it was teaching. And immediately on the Sabbath, he, she, it was teaching. But now we have this participle and a prepositional phrase. Eis elephon. Boy, we've seen this before, haven't we? Continually. Erchomai. Again, it comes up so frequently, it has to be memorized. From eis erchomai, nominative masculine singular. Eis tein synagogein, into the synagogue. Are you able to put it together? And immediately on the Sabbath, after coming into the synagogue, he was teaching. Or after he came into the synagogue, he was teaching. So the aorist participle and the imperfect verb here. Let's do number 2 as well. You don't have to do this, but I just work through it with you. Euthus kroxos ha pater tu paidiou elegan pistuo. Euthus kroxos ha pater tu paidiou elegan pistuo. Find the indicative. I have a couple. Elegan, again, here, very similar to here. Imperfect, imperfect. He was saying, I believe, I continue believing, pistuo. So two indicatives. He was saying, I believe. Euthus immediately. But here we have to, again, find the verb. We have to find the subject of elegan. Do we have a third singular verb here? Yeah, ha pater, the father of the child. Kroxos. Here's our participle from kradzo. See the sigma alpha there? Immediately after crying out, the father of the child was saying, I continue to believe, or I believe, just a statement, I believe. After crying out, he was saying. Let's do one more here. Number 3. Elthonti de tis tein oikion pros elthon auto. Elthonti de es tein oikion pros elthon auto. Find the indicative, pros elthon, from, you guessed it, pros erchomai, eis elthon, pros elthon. From eis erchomai could be first singular, third plural. So I or they came to him. Now auto here And we have a dative eilthonti from erchomai. Prepositional phrase again, eis tein oikion. After I or they came to the pros eilthon here, relation to eilthonti, but here the I or they comes after the participle. Are you working it through? I or they came to him, and after he came, the auto, to the house, I or they came to him. But after he came into the house, I or they came to him. But here the subsequent action, the participle, he came to the house, I came to him, but the eilthonti matching auto, I or they coming to him, he's the one coming into the house. After he came into the house, I came to him, which implies I or they came to him. We'll continue to work through these and just a couple more that you have on this page, and then on to exercise 29.